Welcome to today's video. So today, guys, we're going to be discussing how you are not your thoughts, even though you've probably spent 90% of your entire life believing your thoughts. Now, what happens with thoughts is we can't stop them. We have anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 thoughts per day. But what happens is it's the meaning that we give to them that will literally be the difference between succeeding, thriving, and continuing to struggle and survive. So, what we need to understand is that this is where all the limiting beliefs come from. This is where the emotions that hold you back come from. This is where the feelings that you don't want to feel come from, because we've discussed this before, how thoughts are the feelings of the mind, and that will then lead to, and emotions are the feelings of the body, so to speak. So it's two separate things, and they're obviously interlinked. Anyone who's experienced any form of anxiety knows this. So thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs are what will dictate our actions, and our actions are what will dictate our results 100% of the time. So if anyone is struggling with anxiety, and I've said this so many times in the past, there's only one answer, and that's action. You can't think your way out of any situation. So whatever you're not doing, just do it. That might seem like the craziest advice in the world, but if something's on your mind today and you're worried about it, whatever it is, whether it's a conversation, an action, anything at all, just do it. Because once it's done, then you can't be worrying about it. And it takes more energy to sit worrying about doing something than it does to actually do it. So to give this some real world examples, let's use these 5. And I've chosen 5 because everyone's got different goals and different things that they want to achieve. So a self-limiting belief or thought that many people have is, I will never lose weight and get my dream body. Great. If you think that, you never will. The end. Case closed. I will never find my dream partner and be happy. Great. If you think that, case closed. You won't. It's not attractive. It's not going to attract anyone. Number 3, I'll never make the money that I want and live my dream life. Great. Have that thought. You won't. Case closed. The end. Because you won't do the work because you don't believe that you're going to get it. Number 4, this is a big one. Classic victim mindset. Nothing ever works out for me. Have that thought. Guess what? It never will. Case closed. Number 5, people always let me down. Great. As long as you think to have that thought, people always will. Case closed. 100% of the time. Now, that might sound like I'm being a little bit facetious, and this sounds greatly, but yeah, I have all of those. So what do I do about it? Great. Me too. But I am not my thoughts. And you're going to hear me say that probably 30 times on this training. They are just thoughts. As I said at the beginning, what matters is the meaning and the power that we give to them, because all of these thoughts lead to beliefs, good or bad. They then lead to actions, good or bad. But mostly what happens is, if we just take number 1 as this example, so I'll never lose weight and get my dream body. I'll always be fat. No one will ever love me. Classic victim mentality, which will lead to you avoiding doing the work. But most of all, it will lead to you not even trying. That's what happens with most people. Like, you won't try your best. You won't show up. You won't do the work. You won't go to the gym. You won't go for the job. You won't ask the boy or girl out. You just won't show up and do the work. Because why would you if you believe that you're not going to get the thing that you want? And that is a result of your thoughts. But you have to understand you're not your thoughts. And when I come on to how the problem is, we make all of this about us. And it will make sense when I go through this. So 2 things happen. One is we either don't try at all because these thoughts have led to limiting beliefs, or slightly better, higher on the rung of the ladder, is we just give up when we do try, but it doesn't all happen within 4, 8, 12 weeks. So what I want to go through is the reason why this happens. Okay. Why do you give up so easily? Half of you have fucking given up on this year now. I'm just being fucking real. That hurts good. Hopefully it'll snap you out of it. Because you're not getting what you want as fast as you believe you should be getting it. That's why. All of the time. Or you don't believe you'll ever get it. So why would you try? It's one of those two things. But what I can promise you, 100% of the time, is if you don't do the work, you'll definitely never get it, whether you believe it or not. And that's why we stay stuck, because it's safer. It's safer to stay stuck. It's safer to blame other people. It's safer to blame the world. Classic victim mentality. This will never work out for me, so I won't even try, but I'll carry on being miserable and then blame everyone else. Round and round and round and round and round. But this is what you have to understand. If this is you, don't beat yourself up, because it's not you. It's your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Every single person in this group can have anybody they want. Every single person in this group can make any amount of money that they want. Every single person in this group can attract their dream partner and live happily ever after. But I tell you what, you're not going to get your dream body by not tracking your food, not checking in, not going to the gym, hitting snooze, and making some fucking bullcrap reason up about why it's different for you, why you didn't go to the gym, why you didn't track your food, why you didn't show up, why you didn't check in, why you didn't do whatever. That will literally lead to you never, ever, ever getting the result that you want. The same in all other areas of life. If you're wandering around having the thoughts and the conversations about all men are narcissists and no one's ever loved me and I'm not worthy of love and all women are cheats and everybody always lets me down and relationships are bollock and you are going to attract the square root of fuck all, because who wants to be that person? And it's gone both sides, this, men and women. A female who's going round on hating on men, or a man who's going round hating on women and talking about how they're all liars and cheats and narcissists and X, Y, and Z, and no one can be trusted, and fucking red flag this and red flag that, and fuck off this and fuck off that, and don't fucking speak to me if you want this, and fucking stick that up your ass if X, Y, and Z. Fucking hell, yeah. How can we go out on a date, darling? Because you sound like a right fucking laugh. You know, I'm injecting a bit of humor into it. But, you know, if you're running around from in this needy little victim mindset of no self-love, no self-worth, everyone always lets me down, people are going to avoid you like a red flag. Again, the same in business. If you're not charging what you're worth, if you're not showing up what you're worth, if you're not going into every day, you know, with belief about, you know, who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to achieve, then, you know, people are never going to invest in you because you don't even feel like you should invest in yourself. So what else happens here, right? If we go back to those 5 points. So it's the meaning that you give to them. You know, that is like, I saw a meme on it and it made me piss myself. Like the classic, sorry, ladies, I'm going to town on you today, but the classic fucking all men are the same. Yeah, because Prince William and fucking Eminem have loads in fucking common, don't they? All men are cheats. Well, no, they're not. You know, my nan and granddad stayed together from They only ever slept with each other and stayed together from the age of 17 until they both died. So that's not true. It's not fucking true. There's menopausal women in their 60s who compete in bikini model competitions, who have 3 kids and 3 businesses. Google her. Veronique, sorry, I'll get shot for saying that. Bullshit. Your thoughts that lead to your beliefs that lead to you not doing the work because that's easier. The end. Same for me. So let's not beat ourselves up about it. But it's the meaning that you give to them. It's the meaning that you give to the thoughts that leads to the outcome. But really, this is what you're trying to do. Who knows? What you're trying to do is you're trying to control the one thing that you can't, which is the outcome. You can control your thoughts and your actions, but you can't control your outcome and how fast it happens. You can't control how fast you're going to meet your dream partner, or even if you will. You can't control how much money you're going to make or how fast you're going to make it. You can't control how much weight you're going to lose or how quickly you're going to lose it. The same with any of these. So what happens is you place an inappropriate need on needing to control the outcome to feel like you're good enough because you have this inner belief that you're not. And then when it doesn't happen, you quit. Just like you have an inner need to control other people, control your husband or wife, control your kids, control your friends, control your relationships. Everyone needs to be a certain way to match up with your pictures of how the world, you think the world should be in order for it to be okay. You can't control that. So you have to let go of needing to control the thing that you keep trying to control, because if not, it's a one-way road to frustration. It's a one-way road to resentment. It's a one-way road to anger. And the problem is, as I said, you are not your thoughts, but you keep making it about you. Other people's behavior is not about you. Your ex-husband, wife, partner's behavior wasn't about you. The person saying yes or no to your services in your business isn't about you. The weight you've lost or haven't lost isn't about you. It's just a thought. And as I said at the beginning, you are not your thoughts. So you can't control other people. You can't control your clients. You can't control your partner. You can't control whether you have a partner or not. You can't control your family. You can't control how much weight you lose. You can't control how much money you make. You can't control how fast either of those two things. You can't control whether you make a sale or not. So I have a sales call today at 3 o'clock. I can't control whether he joins or not, but I can control my thoughts around that and the meaning that I give to it. So if X decides not to join today at 3 o'clock, one, he's a fucking idiot because it will be the best experience of his life. But number two, being serious, I might send him this video afterwards. It's not about me, right? So I can either go, well, yay, great, I got a new client, I'm good enough, I value myself as a coach, I'm clever, I'm intelligent, people want to work with me, amazing. Which would be fucking great if every single person converted. Or I can get off the call, oh God, no one wants to work to me, no one's ever going to pay that much money, I'm charging too much. Fuck's sake, I'm going to go bankrupt. Maybe I should charge less. Maybe I'm just not valuable enough. Maybe my services are shit. Maybe this planner's just fucking rubbish and I need to do it. I don't know. Same situation, right? They're just thoughts. Or I can go, one, either I found a great person to work with because I know I'm fucking valuable. Two, I just found someone who was a really bad fit for my coaching who clearly doesn't value health, because if they did, they would have been invested and not been a fucking idiot. It's what I give to it. It's the meaning. You are not your thoughts, and they are the only thing you can control. I can't control whether he joins or not at 3 o'clock. The only thing I control is the meaning that I give to the outcome and how powerfully I fucking show up. I'm very in control of that. So if I show up with a weak ass attitude of riddled with self-doubt and not being good enough, it's highly unlikely that he probably will join. Same as if you show up that way in a relationship. Same as you show up in that in the world. You know, do you really think you're going to attract a man or a woman who's strong, powerful, loving, honoring, trusting, and complete if you're showing up as a weak ass victim who's needing to be loved because you don't love yourself? Not gonna happen. We have to show up as what we want to attract. So I can't control that. I can just control one. Same as simple example, that isn't it? Like you can ask a boy or a girl out. You cannot control whether they say yes or not. What you can control is the meaning that you give to it. They just weren't the right one for me. Cool, let's move on. Or nobody will ever love me. I'm not good enough. I'm too short. I'm too bald. Anyway, Jam, what are you laughing at? So that's it. So all your frustration, whether it's fat loss, fitness, business, relationships, comes from trying to control the one thing that you can't, the outcome. What you can control is your actions. What you can control is your thoughts. But if you make every setback your fault, then you're never going to win. Like, I can't control whether you guys show up, track your food, do your check-ins, do your photos, ask for help when you need it, choose the gym over snoozing and an extra half an hour in bed. I can't control any of those things. But I tell you my thoughts around it, it's got fuck all to do with my ability as a coach. Might sound a little bit harsh. I'm on one this morning. I've not even had a monster yet. Or I could make all of these things about me and that I'm not good enough. Like anyone can give us the tools, right? The tools in business, the tools in fitness. Like I can't control whether you guys do the work. So if I make it about me, if I get angry, if I get resentful, if I get frustrated, then you're just like creating your own happiness. Happiness, unhappiness. Creating your own misery. You know, it's not about who you are. So what happens here is we set up, this is really important, listen, right? So if I set up an expectation that every single one of you needs to check in every single weekend and have lost weight, and if you don't, then there's something wrong with all my systems. I'm useless as a coach. I'm not good enough, and I'm doing something wrong. I can't control the expectation. I can't control the outcome, sorry. So I have to let go of an expectation of it. You can't control how your partners or kids are going to behave. So you have to let go of an expectation around it. You can't control whether people are going to decide to work with you in your business or not. So you have to let go of control of it. And you have to just work on showing up. Because if you keep trying to control the outcome, you're always going to feel disappointed. And when you're feeling disappointed, you can't show up as an elite performer. This is why meditation is so important. Because you're literally stopping that repetitive thoughts. We all have these thoughts of, I'll never lose weight. Nobody ever loved me. I'm not good enough. Why does that person always treat me like that? Why is everything at business always a challenge? Why don't staff do what I want them to do? Why won't people be willing to pay what I know I'm worth? We all have these fucking thoughts, right? My ex this, my ex that, my kids this, my kid that, my fucking staff, employees, customers, clients, X, Y, and Z. Everyone has these, what did I call them before? Ants, automatic negative thoughts. Everybody has them. You can't stop them. So if you're trying to control them, also stop. But what we can do is focus on improving them. So by meditation, I'm dropping down and I'm stopping my repetitive thoughts by breaking the pattern, the repetitive thoughts that are often negative, and then I'm replacing them with new ones that are always positive. But again, you can't do it all of the time. You can't win every day. You can't win every session. But what I'm doing is I'm observing. The number one step is starting to observe your thoughts. So again, ask yourself this question. I'll never lose weight. Well, whatever, I'll never get my dream body. Well, what evidence do you have? The only way that's going to happen or not happen, so to speak, is if you don't do the work. If you keep making excuses, if you keep not showing up because you had that thought that you're never going to do it, which is why you didn't do the work, because it came a belief, and belief leads to behaviors and outcomes. So listen to this and tattoo it on the backs of your eyelids. You are not your thoughts. You are your actions. The end. Thoughts are just fucking thoughts. We all think we're not good enough. We all think we're not lovable in some way. We all think things are our faults. We all think X, Y, and Z. It's impossible not to. So again, we work on changing the thoughts, but not controlling them. Classic question. How do I stop thinking negatively? You can't. Okay. You can't. But you can focus on thinking more positively, so there's less time for thinking negatively. But essentially, you are not your thoughts, you are your actions. So have you ever had a day, right? So you have these days when you just get up, right, and you bounce out of bed and you're just positive, and the kids get ready to go for school like a dream, and everything in your relationship's good, and ping, 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 you open your inbox, there's 5 people that want to work with you. You walk in, all your staff and your team are in a good mood, and everything's a dream, and everything just seems to go right. And then the next day, fuck me backwards. Everything goes wrong. From the second you get out of bed, your partner's a fucking miserable twat. The kids won't get ready for school and cause absolute carnage. The fucking dog shits in the fucking cream carpet. You knock your coffee all over the side because you're that fucking stressed, and it's not even fucking 6:30 in the morning. So you fuck the gym off. You don't do your medication. Lee Freeman can fucking stick his planner up his ass, and you fucking run out of the front door with your fucking skirt tucked in your knickers before fucking crashing your car on the way to work. I'm using an extreme example, but we all have these days on both ends of the spectrum, right? So what's the difference? Why did one happen and not the other? Is literally down to the meaning you gave to what happened. Because both things are real, right? Both days exist. Now, the challenge is, of course, as humans, I'll say it again, you are not your thoughts, you are your actions, and the meaning and the power that you give to the thoughts. Of course, we want everyone every day to be the first one. Of course, every day I want to jump on a call to 5 elite level entrepreneurs who value my services and can't wait to work for me. Unfortunately, some days I'm always going to jump on the call. And believe this or not, this actually happened once. Bear in mind, we have quite strict qualification processes. I jumped on a call with a woman, no offense to people that live in caravans, who lived in a caravan and was in a dressing gown at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and answered a sales call to join my program whilst smoking a cigarette. I'm not even joking. Wow. Sometimes you might get four of them. It's just going to happen. I'm not in control. I might get four people who are the next four sales calls who are the worst possible fit in the world for my services. Now I can go, oh, fucking hell, the marketing's wrong and this is wrong and that's wrong and fucking my team's fucking shit and the ads are wrong and fucking everything. Or I can go, that's just life, right? And this is where you have to get to. We've done this before. You can't have courage without fear. You can't have happy without sad. You can't have love without hate. You can't have a good sales day without having a bad sales day. You can't have an epic training session without having a day when you choose snooze over doing the work. It's not the thing, it's the thoughts that you give to it. So one, you have to be aware of them, but two, you have to understand that you're controlling them. And you can, that's the only thing you can control, what you give the meaning to up here. Control your response, which is your responsibility. Even the word responsibility stands for your ability to respond if you turn it upside down and backwards. Not upside down, just backwards. But you know what I mean? It's just feedback. That's all it is. So the meaning and the energy and the thoughts that we give to the situation is the thing that we control that will make us or break us, not trying to control the actual outcome. And it's what you choose to believe about the situation. Relationships is just I know we're mainly talking about, you know, fat loss and nutrition and mindset and business, but relationship is without a doubt the best example here. Because what you choose to believe will lead to what you become, which will come from your thoughts. So it's just feedback to make changes. That's all it is. But if we believe that everything that goes wrong is our fault and is about us, then we're going to operate as a fucking leech who's not worthy, not lovable, not good enough, not valuable, not intelligent, not anything. Because we've allowed the thought to become a belief, and that's not true. Like if anyone has been hurt in a relationship, it wasn't about you. But we have to understand that the thought and the outcome and the situation is feedback. And if we don't act on the feedback, then we're just dumbass. If we snooze and we don't get out of bed and we eat shit and it makes us feel like crap, gives us a reminder not to do that because it makes us feel like shit. Or if we go out and get fucking smashed out of our brains at the weekend and then our energy is literally fucking lower than a snake's belly for 10 days, then we're getting feedback not to do that. So we have to listen to the feedback and act on it, not make it why we're not good enough. Does that make sense? So we need to practice detaching from these thoughts, and it's a skill. The best way to do it is get busy, get moving, get fired up, get fucking focused on what it is you want and what you need to do to get it once you've aligned why you want to get it, because you know what your values, your mission, and your purpose are. You can't be busy and thinking at the same time. Like most depressed people just aren't fucking busy. They're busy being depressed, busy overthinking, busy blaming other people, busy busy believing their thoughts. Because I've never seen anyone who's really focused on their mission, on their business, on their body, on their dream future, on what it is they want and making sure it aligns with their values. That's kind of spending a lot of time worrying about stuff. Of course, then it will happen. We'll get knocked back. We have a bad week. We have a bad client. We have a bad situation. We have a bad member of staff. And all of a sudden, you can sometimes snap straight back into all those old patterns. Now, the big thing here is, so again, just remember that, right? If you're going through periods when you're really fucking worried and down on yourself and you've got these limiting beliefs and you're not losing weight or you're not making money or you don't feel loved or everything's wank and everything in between, then you're probably not busy working on your mission. In fact, you've probably forgotten what your mission was. You've forgotten what your purpose was. You've forgotten what you want and why you want it and what you need to do to get it. Because I have never been in a period in my life when I'm 100% focused on what it is I want, reminding myself every minute of every day why it is that I want it, and spending every other minute of every single day working towards it. There's no time to be worried. There's no time to be overthinking. As I said, action is the only answer. Now, the big thing with all of these thoughts, dry mouth. The big thing with these thoughts is it's the thoughts that create the limiting beliefs. Not just beliefs, the limiting ones. Strong beliefs are great. It's limiting beliefs that hold us back. The belief that we're not good enough, the belief that we can't run a team, the belief that we can't grow the business, the belief that we're not worthy of love, the belief that we'll never lose weight. Like anyone who believes that they can't lose weight is it's just a bit of a crazy belief, really. Because you have to ask yourself these questions. Where's the evidence? If you believe you can't make money, where's the evidence? If you believe you're not worthy of love, where's the evidence? There isn't any. There literally isn't any. So why this happens, and I think this is really important. Why this happens is human nature. Why do we have self-limiting beliefs? Why do we feel stuck? Why do we quit? Easy answer. Because it's fucking easy to. It's easy to stay stuck. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to tell the story about why it's different for you. It's easy to blame your ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-partner, ex-unicorn. It's easy to blame your staff. Not bad staff, just bad trainers. But it's easier to take it away from, oh, that's not my fault. Who can I blame? Oh, this isn't about me. Who can I blame? Because we're hardwired for comfort. We're hardwired for easy. We're hardwired. It's natural human instinct. We're hardwired to protect ourselves from fear, not to go through it. If a saber-toothed tiger runs out, we're not hardwired to stand up and say, fucking come on then, Mr. Tiger, show me what you fucking got, because I ain't going nowhere. We're hardwired to run a fucking mile as fast as we can in the opposite direction. Because fear kick, adrenaline, cortisol, fucking everything. But again, we have to understand that's real fear. Remember this, real fear is when there's a chance of death or serious injury. Everything else is just an emotional state. If you actually have a saber-toothed tiger running towards you and it's fucking hungry because it's not eaten for 3 days, that is fear. That's why there's that flight response. Because if you don't run, you're going to die. Asking a boy or a girl out or going for the job or going to a new gym or having an awkward conversation with your husband or wife, that's not fear. That's avoidance of discomfort. You don't like the way you're afraid of the way the response might make you feel, which is essentially that you're not good enough, which is all of our biggest human fear from the age of 2 years old, when our parents started making us do things in order to get love. So not their fault. But what I'm trying to get at here and what we have to understand is it's easy to stay stuck. It's easy to make excuses. It's easy to not do the work, but that's just going to lead to more self-limiting beliefs, more thoughts of why you're not good enough, more thoughts of not being happy. Now, where the shift is here is first of all becoming aware, but then having to become aware every single second of every single day, because it can become so ingrained that it becomes your identity. Like I said this to a private therapy client this week, not someone who's in the group, and I had to word it really, really, really carefully. And I said, if you weren't depressed, moaning, blaming, complaining, justifying, talking about how your parents let you down, talking about all your ex-husbands and boyfriends and the terrible things that they did, what's going wrong at work, and basically suctioning on like a leaf to any form of drama or depression you can find in the world, would you have anything to talk about? And she actually virtually broke down in tears and just went, no. But again, it's harsh to go through, but that's now a life-changing moment for her. Why? Because if it's this awareness, what's the cost of awareness? Responsibility. What's the cost of responsibility? You have to take action that aligns with your new lesson. So we have to be really, really cautious of this. But the most amazing thing in the world is, guess what? We know this. It works exactly the same, the opposite way. So someone who's absolutely at the elite of their game, they're that focused on their business, their family, showing up, the emotions that they want to experience, their goals, the people that they want to be around, what they're willing to do to get what they want, and everything in between, that it's the same as the person who's that. That if all of those things were taken away, what would be there? The same, nothing. Because we've made one end so full, and we've got so much mission and so much purpose and so much drive and so much focus on what it is we want and where we want to go and the reasons why we want to do it, and all our mission, purpose, and values align, that there's no room for negativity, anxious thoughts, depression, worry, thoughts about other people. It works both ways. So as I said, just to reiterate that as well, understand that every thought creates an emotion. And this is why this should hopefully really hit home. Because what that might sound like, and this is the Disneyland thinking that most personal development leads us to believe, right, Lee? So I just need to be that guy on the right, okay? And I don't need to be that woman on the call. No, you don't need to be either of those people. You need to be like somewhere in the middle. Because otherwise you're going to be lost in, I need to be making sales, dropping weight, getting laid, fucking, shouldn't have said that, in a loving relationship and everything in between. That was what I meant. I meant the second one, not the one I said before. Can't stop recording, can I? I'm going to edit that out. I've lost my train of thought now. Or I'm not okay, I'm not good enough, and I'm not happy. Or I'm going to be all the other way, and there's no in between. Happy, sad, love, hate, courage, fear, thriving, surviving, high mood, low mood, positive, negative. Right? We have to be okay with experiencing both. Like, you have to be okay with having a week when you lose £4 and then the week after you lose nothing, because that's always going to happen. And if you don't think it is, you're arguing with reality. You have to be okay. And this is, I struggled with this for so long. You have to be okay with there's going to be a week when you make 10K and there's going to be a week when you make nothing. In fact, there might be a week when you make nothing and the fucking car breaks down and the boiler goes and you have a fucking unexpected fucking VAT bill that you'd forgotten about. So you actually make a lot less than nothing. You have to be okay with both. This is the main thing that I want to get across today. You have to be okay with the days and the weeks when everything goes with plan and the days when it doesn't. That's called polarity. What's happening is Most people get the buzz of the good one and they just want that all the time. And then if they don't get that all the time, then where do we go? Not good enough. Everyone always lets me down. Got problems, X, Y, and Z. So you just zoom out, right? You can't win every day. But if we win 75%, then we'll win overall. It's like it's all part of the journey. Like we can't lose weight every week. We can't increase turnover profits every week. Every week in your relationship with your husband or wife partner is not going to be perfect. If you don't have a husband or partner or wife or unicorn and you're not getting laid either, then you have to be okay with that. Every week's not going to be perfect. It's all part of the journey. None of it means you're good enough or you're not good enough. It all comes down to your thoughts. And you are not your thoughts, as I said at the start. So the other thing I want to wrap up on, because next week is massively going to be on how we unlock these self-limiting beliefs forever, so they never crop up. And if they do, we're okay with it. And we know how to handle them very quickly, so they don't lead to behaviors. So the biggest thing that I think is that everyone wants, myself included, for long periods, whether it's business or anything in life, we want a challenge-free life. We want a pain-free life. We expect to tell, what would be another example? We expect to maybe launch a new product in the business or increase the prices or set up a new funnel or a new system or employ a member of staff, start building a team. And everything should just go perfectly from day one. And there won't be any challenges in business, relationships, fitness, and fat loss. That is Disneyland thinking. Unfortunately, done quite a hard-hitting post about this, which is going out tonight. Unfortunately, it's difficult because you're getting told that that's the way it should be almost everywhere you fucking look on social media by marketing pricks who pay on naive people that are in pain. So you've got the classic fucking absolutely shredded woman who's got a fucking ass like two hard-boiled eggs in a satin handkerchief, which she likes getting out on her Instagram every day. And she's preaching all about balance and sustainability. And she's having a wine with the girlies at the weekend and she's in Marbella and everything else. And then you've got the shredded guy who's eating burgers and, telling everyone can do this. And then on top of that, you've got the multi-millionaire sat in his fucking ivory towers telling the world how you can become an 8-figure entrepreneur working less than 3 hours a day. What a crock of shite from both parties. Okay? But they're preying on what people want. So you think, well, I should be able to get that then. I know what I'll do. I'll join his plan. Oh, God, if she can do that, I can do that. I know what I'll do. I'll join her bikini model plan. And I'm going to have that arse in less than 4 weeks without going to the gym or stopping drinking wine and pizza. It's crap, right? You do the work for a long committed part of time, and then you can maintain the thing, having a balanced life. Most millionaires probably worked 16, 17 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week for 4 to 5 years, at least. Probably more, maybe 20 years. Now they have a big team and they can sit on social media talking about how they do it all in 4 hours per day. If you just join their plan, click the link below. Click the link below, I'll show you how. Just like her. Just click the link below, I'll show you how. right? So we're sold this dream everywhere we looked. And yet you really have to not believe it, guys, because there'll always be challenge in relationships, in business, in fitness, in fat loss, in muscle building. There'll always be challenge. So we're actually creating our own happiness by expecting there not to be, because we don't want it because of how it makes us feel. So we have to be okay with not. I mean, it's like I've just looked up to the skylight there because it's just reminded me because it just started like someone's playing the fucking drums on it. Like I literally think some people expect it not to rain. Like go down social media from this weekend. Like there's always going to be fucking rain. There's always going to be fucking storms. There's always going to be heat waves. Its weather is always going to fluctuate and there'll be challenges that come with it. That's what makes the winners how they deal with the challenges. You know, not the people who just moan about it fucking raining. We can't stop it raining. Can't stop it being windy. We can't stop snow. So there'll always be challenge, is what I'm saying. That's how we grow. And don't be fooled into thinking that everything should be a walk in the park every day. And if it's not your goal. It's not, sorry, and if it's not your fault. Just because there's people telling you that it doesn't have to be that way. Of course, they're telling you that. They're trying to sell you into things. So to wrap up, final bit today as well. So we'll debrief a little bit. So you are not your thoughts. It's just the meaning that you give to them and the energy. So remember that. You are not your thoughts. You are how you respond. And how you respond is your responsibility. So take control of it. But be careful because your thoughts will become your beliefs. So if you think you never lose weight, you never will. If you think you'll never find your dream partner, you never will. If you think you'll never make money, you never will. Because it will dictate how you show up in the world. So fake it until you make it as well. Show up as the person you want to be and you'll attract it. So the second bit that we came on is don't give up too easy. The biggest reason why people fail in fitness, business, and fat loss is because they want all of the things too fast. And once they've tried for 4, 8, 12 weeks and it hasn't become reality, then they just quit. So you are just your thoughts. We can't control other people. So stop trying. And certainly if it's negative things towards another people, 100% don't make it your fault. Biggest life change is shifting your expectations. If you don't have expectations of others, then you can't be disappointed. Polarity. There will always be opposites. You have to accept the good days with the bad days, which brings us nicely on to the last point, which is remember where attention goes, energy flows, and results show. So today, place your attention on your intention. So what do you intend to do to succeed? What's your plan? What needs to happen today for it to be a great day? What actions do you need to take? And focus on that, not focusing on what's happening, who's let you down, who's pissed you off, what didn't happen last week, what's going on with the weather, what's going on with the news, what fucking Karen's talking about on Facebook, or any of that. Zone in on you. What do you need to do today to win? And if you want a great place to set yourself up to make that very easy, have a look through all your photos on your phone for this year. That's called magic memories. Okay? Look at the fucking great things that have already happened this year. Look at what you've already achieved. Look at where you've already won. And then write down everything that you're grateful for. In-depth gratitude list. In-depth magic moments list. And if you're struggling to snap yourself out of something, any human, certainly any human watching this who's privileged enough to have an iPhone or a computer to even be watching it, should actually realize that most of what they're worrying about isn't real. And it's really not that fucking bad. Brutal example, but if you're like worrying or kicking off about how your kids are behaving, imagine someone's waking up today knowing that they're never going to see theirs again. If you waffling and moaning about an injury that's unavoidable, in Jeremy Beadland, remember there's someone that doesn't have an arm. If you're worried about the sales you didn't make last week or what's going off in your business or the weather that happened this weekend, thousands of people were sat in that fucking weather homeless. Ground yourself, humble yourself, practice gratitude, go through your magic memories. And then when you're in a good spot, then let's shift. Right. Where attention goes, energy flows and results show. What is my intention today? How do I get my attention on it? What do I want to achieve? What needs to happen by the end of the day? And get that busy that all that other stuff disappears because you're razor focused on what you want to do, block out distraction and go get it. Because mental performance very often stems from not just future based, but also past based. So being able to focus on what went right over what went wrong. So a lot of fucking things went right for me in 2024. A lot of fucking things went wrong. Which ones I decide to give my energy to is down to me. But as I said, and this is what we're going to come on to next week, action will always trump thinking. So whatever you're thinking about, as we said at the start, remember that's all it is. It's just thoughts, and you are not your thoughts. You are what you do. So focus on what we need to do today. Go out and get it done. Guys, I love you all. Have the best day.